Okay, so back again to the top of your chain and slip stitch, and once again you go into chain 2 and you're going to do a double crochet into each and every chain around. Okay, and this is your last double crochet that you will make now, all the way round your last row of double crochets now. So if you want to go ahead and do this last round, I will meet you back at the start and we'll do our final rounds. Right, so I've gone ahead and I've chained my last one. We're going to try it now on our jar. Okay, so we'll get our jar and we're going to just pull up your loop so that you don't lose it, and we're going to pop it on. Okay, this sometimes can be a bit of a squish, depends on how tight your stitches are, but you do want it as tight as you can. And what I've done is I've taken off the sticky label off this jar, so it's making it a bit tight. So there we go, there is our little jar cozy, looking kind of sweet, really quite nice, and hopefully everybody's got the same. Right, so what we can do is, you could leave it like that now if you'd like to, but I like to do a row of single crochet all the way round the edge now, just to make it a bit snug so that it's not going to come off. So you can do this with it on the jar if you'd like to. So you'll chain up 1. I don't know if you can see this. Chain up 1. And then go into your first chain and do a little single crochet. Okay, so you can do it like that while it's still on, because you've got plenty of room while you do that, or you can just pop it off, which I'm going to do because it still fits, it doesn't really matter. So it's easier, even easier, you know, either way. There's no harder. Oops, what am I doing there? Forgetting what I'm saying, aren't I? There we go. We don't need to go over, do we? We're just doing a get so used to doing double crochets. There we go. So just a little row of single crochet all the way round. Okay, and this will just give it a little bit of a tighter at the top, just so it stays on. Okay, starting to get a bit dark now outside, so I think my lighting might be changing, so you'll have to excuse me. I feel like I've been doing this tutorial now for hours. Hope it doesn't feel like it's for hours for you. That would be awful, wouldn't it? Right, so we're nearly at the end now, ladies and gents, nearly there. It sounds like we're starting to get a storm as well. It's going dark and it's sounding really blustery, and we've had hailstone today. Excuse me. We don't know if it's going to snow, hailstone or cracking the flags. You never know here from one day to the next. We've had crazy mad sunshine out today where you think, oh, you want to get your shorts on. Or now you need to be bundled up in your cozies sat next to your fire. So we've had a bit of all kinds of weather today. Right, so we're nearly there now. One more to go. There we go. and then we're just going to slip stitch into the very first single crochet that we just made. Okay, there we go. Okay, and then we're going to chain up 1, and for this one we're going to skip the very first single crochet that's there, and we're just going to go into our second with a, let's see, skip the very first stitch, and we're going to go into the second one with a single crochet, which is just going to cinch this in just by a stitch. Okay, keep going over with my hook, don't I? I'm not teaching you very well, am I? Okay, so just skipping that one stitch makes a difference in how snug this cosy goes on. And then we're just going to carry on with our final row of single crochet. Okay, this just the little row of single crochets sort of cinches it in slightly and makes it more snug, because the jars that I'm using taper in just very slightly. But like I said, you can use any type of jars that you've got at home. You just adjust this pattern to whatever size jars you've got, and I'm sure you all know how to do this. You know, mine was just a little idea, you know, just basically to show you how to use the different things you've got in your stash. I've made quite a lot of jar cozies in my time. I've got them all around the house. Just make them just to go with your decor now and again. You know, they just change your decor up if you know, because we've all got a lot of yarn. Sometimes you haven't got many pennies to buy a new bit of decoration around the house because you've got other commitments. So one way to just decorate without it costing the earth is just to make a little cover for things with your jam jars, old candle jars, anything really, anything you've got around the house. Just crochet a little cover for it. You can even do it with lampshades as well. That's a nice one. I've done lampshade covers. You just do a crocheted panel around your lampshades. I've done it really for Christmas. I might show you all how to do that one day when I'm an expert at this video in Lark. Right, so we're back round again, and we're going to do our final slip stitch into our last one, and we're going to cut off our yarn at last. Here we go, ba-doing. Right, and we're going to pull it through. Okay, let's get this. This is our final. Okay, and that's our jar cozy. Doesn't look like much, does it, until you've actually popped it on. And if you don't have sticky bits on the side of your jar, that's good. You can get some nail varnish remover or some sticky remover. I've got some sticky remover somewhere in my craft box, but pretty much a bit of soap and water brings that off. Or stick your jars put your jars into the dishwasher. That generally works. Okay, so there we go. There you have it, our jar cozy. You can put another couple of stitches in there if your jar's a different size, but this one works really well. And then we've got our yellow one. All you need to do is just sew your ends in. As you can see, I've not sewn my ends in on my yellow one, just there. Just tuck it in, you know, tuck it back in, no bother. Okay, so like I said, this one's slightly different to that one in the design. I've just done two rows here of double crochet, whereas on here I've only done one, and I've done an extra row of the mesh, and they look so nice when the light's on them. And I should have brought an extra jar up with me, but I haven't got one with me, so that's clever of me too. And then we've got our blue one as well, our original blue one. So yeah, you too can make these jar cozies. And I hope you've enjoyed this little video for my first video. Oops. Don't give me too many thumbs down, please. But thanks very much for joining me, and I hope you've enjoyed this. I will put below the size of my jar that I've used, because I've not measured it. I will jot down what size jar it is. And then you too can make these. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed this. Thanks so much for joining me and supporting me in my first tutorial. And I'll catch you all again very, very soon. So take care for now. Bye bye.